Hey, I am going to show you here how to um, I'm going to show you here how to do a pull quote. So if you notice over here, I've got my layers open. I'm going to lock anything that I have because I want to be able to move it around and not have text boxes or headline boxes get in the way. So I'm going to click on highlight my creative elements layer. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a text box and I'm going to draw it off to the side here. And I'm just going to make it a column wide. And I'm going to do a quotation mark and I'm just going to say, you can't handle the truth. And the person who said that is Colonel Jessup. And I need to change this to the right font. And so the font that we use for pull quotes is Montserrat Light Italic. And I need to make it a lot bigger. So I'm going to bump it up to 30. I want to take it up a little more space. Whoops, too big. So we'll do that. I want to take off the hyphenation. So I click over on that paragraph symbol and uncheck hyphenation, and it will bump Colonel Jessup's name to that bottom part there. Okay, then the next thing that I want to do is I want to make it a little decorative. So I'm going to put lines. First, let me make sure that these are, yep, right on the column lines. So I'm going to use my line tool, which is that diagonal line. I'm going to click there. I'm going to hold shift. If I don't hold shift, then that's going to cause problems. So I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to make a line there. And maybe I want it to be 2 points. And then I'm going to use the option key, hold option, click and drag, and I'm going to drag it down here. Now here's the problem. Up at the top, I've got one pica between that line and where the text starts. Down here though, I've got a lot more space. So what I actually need to do is pull this guy up and that looks pretty good, okay? Now next thing I need to do is I need to turn all of this into one object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag down. I'm going to do that to group everything. What that does is it connects the lines to that text box. Then I'm going to go up to the word object and click the word group, and if you notice, it changes it into a completely different element. So now all three of those items, the line at the top, the text box, the line at the bottom, they're all one thing. Okay, now I can move this now, but if I move it over into this story text, you can see it just sits right on top of the text. It doesn't, like, the text doesn't move around. So what I need to do is text wrap this object. So I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to Text Wrap, and I'm going to dock it over here because I'll probably use it again. And I'm going to click on this guy, Wraparound Object Shape. You can kind of play around with different options, but I like this third one here. And as soon as I do that, notice that it bumps the rest of that text out of the way. And so now I have this nice little breakup in between the middle of all of that text. It's a nice little, I don't know, it just breaks up the text. That's what it does. The other thing you can do, since this is one object, if you think this is a little too big, if I hold Shift and Command with my left hand and I make this a little bit smaller, it changes it proportionally and it changes the whole thing. So Shift and Command is very important on this because then it can change the lines and the text box at the same time. I look at it again, that looks pretty good. So that is how you do a pull quote in InDesign.